Hi guys, this is Mike at tabletpad.com and we're here with another clip. Today we have the Samsung Galaxy Tab 10.1 and the Asus EEE Pad Transformer. And these are probably the most popular 10-inch Android honeycomb tablets available on the market right now. And I'm going to have a quick look at these two and see which one of the two is actually the better pick. First, we're going to start with the exterior, and you're going to notice from starters that despite the fact that both have similar screens, which are 10.1 displays, the Galaxy Tab is a bit more compact. It's definitely shorter, it's only a tad bit wider. Actually no, it's a tad bit less wider than the Galaxy Tab as well, while in terms of thickness, it's definitely thinner. This one measures like 13 millimeters and this one goes for like 8.6 millimeters, so definitely thinner. And of course the Galaxy Tab is as well a bit lighter. It weighs 1.25 pounds, which is like, I don't know, like 560 grams, and this one weighs like 1.49 pounds, which is like 700 grams. So it's like 25% heavier, and you will notice this during everyday use, and you're going to feel like this is a bit heavier and way more complicated to use. While on the front they're both pretty much the same with the big screen and fully covered glass front face. On the back it's a bit different, and the Asus comes with this plastics textured finish, which actually feels quite okay and quite reliable, while this one comes with aluminum and plastic finish. I like the rubbery feel of the Samsung. I like this one as well. Both are quite grippy, and I can't say one is better than the other. Still, I think that the Asus EEE Pad Transformer feels a little bit more solid, a little bit more reliable. The edges are straight on this one and made from metal, while on this one the edges are rounded, which is quite better because you can more comfortably hold it like this, and they're also covered in metal. Still, I feel that this one feels a little bit squeakier when held in your hand. Feels this one is solid, and I believe it will last, it will handle time better. Only a little bit. This is just a personal feeling. Let's have a quick look at the ports. This one has the volume rocker and the power button on top, headphone jack and SIM card, this speaker on this side, microphone and proprietary docking connector on this side, and the other speaker on this one, so stereo speakers on the Galaxy Tab. And this one, on the top there's actually nothing. On this side, headphone jack, and you got mini HDMI and micro SD card, one of the speakers. This side, the docking connector, and these latches that are used to connect the tablet to the docking station with the keyboard. This side, the other speaker, volume rocker and button, power button. And there should also be the microphone, which is here on this side. I haven't noticed. Overall, I feel like the buttons are a little bit better on this one. They're better emphasized than the buttons on the Galaxy Tab. Okay. So, not really sure if I can say that one is better built than the other. So, let's say they're on par here. Both feature cameras, front-facing cameras on both of them. Let me zoom in a little bit here. So front-facing cameras on both of them, 2 megapixel camera on this one, and 1.3 megapixel camera on the Transformer. And on the back, cameras for both of them as well. 3.2 megapixel camera with flash LED on the Galaxy Tab, and 5 megapixel camera without any LED on the Asus. Both can shoot 720p content, video content, and of course stills. And despite the higher resolution, I would say that both of them are pretty much on par, because colors are a little bit better on the Samsung, better saturated, while on the Asus they feel a little bit washed out. Still, neither are excellent in terms of video or photo shooting, but if I were to pick one of them for these abilities, my money would be on the Samsung here. And now that we cover pretty much all the details about the exterior, we're going to power both these devices and tell you a couple of things about the software. But first, let's talk a bit about the screens on both these devices. Both feature pretty much similar screens, 10.1 inch in diagonal, 1280 by 800 pixel resolution, and IPS panel. This one is an IPS on the transformer, and this one is actually a PLS, which is Samsung take on an IPS. They're pretty much the same, both offer great colors and excellent viewing angles. However, this one offers a bit extra brightness, which is quite nice because you will be able to use this outside, and it will be a bit more useful than other tablets, including this one. Both these tablets are running on similar hardware, Tegra 2 processor, dual-core processor, 1GB of RAM, decent storage. Connectivity-wise, they get wireless and they get Bluetooth. But this one comes with 3G and the transformer does not have 3G. As for storage, both come in 16 and 32GB versions, but this one, the transformer, has a microSD card, and you can use this to extend memory with an extra 32GB, so that's quite nice. In terms of operating system, both are running Honeycomb, and both have a couple of customizations on top. The Asus has some less customization, while this one has a completely new UI. It's called Samsung TouchWiz UI, and I'm going to talk about this a bit later. Still, let's get back a bit on the screen, and we're going to go to Google and look for some color test. I'm trying to show you the differences between these screens, and we have this particular image here. And you should see here that colors are a little bit extra saturated on this particular device. On the both these tablets are right now running on full brightness, and a little bit extra saturated on this one. However, the screen on the Samsung comes with a couple of modes, and right now we're on standard mode, but you can add a more vivid or more action mode used for movies and stuff like this, so you can adjust the colors just a little bit. Now, in terms of OS, like I said, both running Android 3.2 on the transformer, 3.1 on the Samsung, and some customizations on top. You can see from starters, one of the first thing is that this has changed this notification pane a little bit, which is quite nice because you get easier access to all these connectivity options. You can turn GPS on and off way faster than you can on this one, and you also have access to the screen without the screen brightness with only one click, while on this one you have to press 2 clicks. And in terms of settings, they're pretty much on par. Each has its particularities. For instance, this one has a keyboard with haptic feedback, while this one does not. And it has, like I said, for the screen, you have this, actually not this, you have this mode, and you can adjust from dynamic, standard, and movie modes, while on this one you don't have all these particular options. On both, you can capture shortcuts easily using, you have the dedicated button on this. On this one, you just have to press the multitasking button. Of course, both have multitasking and stuff like this, pretty much all the basic applications from Honeycomb. However, in terms of widgets, both have a weather widget. I definitely like the one on Samsung, because if you click it, you're going to have details for the next days and weather map, and can add a bunch of different cities. So it's actually an excellent application, weather application. On this one, you only have details for right now. If you can click it, it's going to take you to this the settings menu. Not really that good. Both have location, you can see, and calendar. And of course on both you can adjust, for instance, press and adjust widget sizes, because they're running Honeycomb Post 3.1. But on this one you have a bit of extra applications. For instance, this is the email widget, and on this one you can add a bunch of different types of accounts, and you're going to get them separated on separated inbox or a combined inbox with all the content available right now, which is actually quite something quite nice. And you also have a bunch of extra widgets. For instance, this one is the bookmarks widget, which looks a little bit better, and you have this particular thing which is called the social hub, where you're going to have all your social accounts together and see the latest messages. It's not really that useful, I don't really like it that much, but it's still quite nice because you can have in one place your Facebook, your Twitter, and your Google Plus account, which is quite nice. You also have here the it's called for contacts and for calendar, agenda. Quite nice. And beside this, you also have, pressing this, you have access to these particular apps, and they're quite nice as well. For instance, you have the task manager, which is actually quite useful in Honeycomb, and you can kill different apps using it like this. And then you have a calendar and a work clock and a memo, calculator, and music player. Music player is a little bit different than the music player you get by default on then the music player you get by default on Honeycomb, and not really sure if it's something that would make you buy this tablet or rather have this tablet over this one, but it's a little bit different application. And you also have this one, which is pen memo, and I've showed you in the review for this one. You can use it to take notes, preferably using a stylus, but since this is a capacitive tablet without a digitizer, taking notes ain't that okay on this. For instance, if you're trying to write something, you don't have palm rejection, so it's pretty much useless. And writing, see that it takes a little, it's nearly impossible to actually write something using a capacitive stylus like this. So naturally the most useful application, but some might enjoy it, I don't know. Okay, let's have a quick look at the keyboards on both this. And you can see that both offer customized keyboards. The keyboard on the Asus EEE Pad Transformer comes with an arrow, with a row of numbers, which is quite good, but I hate that they place the backspace button here on the bottom. That's quite nice, quite awful. And you can of course choose between other types of keyboards. On this one you have swipe by default, and this is the Samsung optimized keyboard, so this is swipe. And you can get the English standard keyboard. This is the Honeycomb standard keyboard. Let's go ahead and get the Samsung one. So you can change keyboards, and both are quite okay, at least once you get used to them. Not much more to add about this. Pretty much similar performances in browser, maps, and YouTube, and you have the basic application. The same applications you can get from the market. Of course, you don't have that many applications especially optimized for Honeycomb, but in time more will be available, that's for sure. And these were all the things I wanted to show you about OS on this particular two tablets. I'm going to continue with some details about battery life, pricing, and some conclusions. There are many similar things on both these tablets, and battery life is one of them. Both can offer enough battery life for a full day's work and can offer around 8 to 9 hours of autonomy on a single charge based on average use. Of course, you can get a little bit more with video content playing, and probably less when playing some games. But overall, 8.8 to 9 hours, it's quite okay and should be enough for a full day without having to go for the power plug. In terms of prices, this is where the Asus wins, because it's $100 cheaper than the Samsung Samsung Galaxy Tab 10.1, and goes for $399 for the 16GB Wi-Fi only version, while this one goes for $499 for the same specs, which is right on par with the iPad 2. So if you want something cheaper, you're on a budget, definitely have to go for the Asus. Otherwise, you have this option as well, and it comes with a couple of advantages as well. Okay, and this pretty much will conclude our comparison of these two tablets. More details will be available on the site, like I said, on tabletbuy.com, and you're going to find there the written comparison with some extra information. Now it's a little bit difficult to say which of the two tablets is better than the other, because actually neither is. They're both pretty much similar. They just target different types of buyers. So if you want something extra compact and extra light, and you don't mind spending $100 extra, then you should go for the Galaxy Tab, because it's slick and it's nicely built and it's very light, and it will be a great portable travel companion. On the other side, you have the same features, pretty much the same features on the Asus EEE Pad Transformer for 20% less money, and you also have some extra ports. You have the HDMI output, you have micro SD, and you also have that docking station that will allow you increased battery life and a keyboard, access to physical keyboard, and of course two standard USB slots. So theoretically, basically for pretty much the same amount of money, you can get this one, or you can get the transformer with the docking station. So it's really up to what you need. If you want something extra slick and extra portable, go for the Samsung, or otherwise, if you want a good Android tablet right now, go for the Asus EEE Pad Transformer. Thank you. That was all for now. Mike at tabletbuy.com with the Asus EEE Pad Transformer and the Samsung Galaxy Tab. For more details, please go on the site, and please subscribe to our YouTube channel if you liked this clip. Thanks.